Shake that.
This video contains moments of sheer fanboyism-ness and bits of profanity, so you have been warned. So that's my number 4. What's your number 3?
Alright. My number 3 is the Maiden in Black from Demon's Souls. I don't know, she's just like super adorable. Like, I come back from a long day of killing demons and stuff, and then I see her waiting on the stairs for me and kicking her feet, and I'm like, oh! And then she's like blind because she sealed her own eyes with wax. And so it makes you want to protect her and stuff, and you're like, yeah. Well, I don't know, I just think she's like super moe. But at the same time, she's like the most powerful demon of them all. So you're like, it's so easy to let your guard down around her, but then you gotta remember that she could easily destroy you if she wanted to.
Yeah. Alright, so my number 3 would have to be Reiha from Summon Night Twin Age. Now, she was originally going to be my number 2, but I'll explain why I swapped when I get to my number 2.
Okay.
But she's from Summon Night Twin Age on the DS. And, you look at her and she's a teenage girl with blonde hair and a pretty snappy outfit. She's like, it's like a fantasy game, so, it's something you would expect from a fantasy game.
Yeah.
So anyways, when you're playing as her, you can swap between Reiha or Aldo, and, they control very similar. But unlike Aldo, she attacks mainly with magic shots and from a distance, so she's essentially sniping.
Mm-hmm.
But, you control her by holding your stylus on the DS touchscreen to have her, like, you hold it off in the corner on your touchscreen, and she'll follow the little cursor that's from your stylus. So you spin the stylus in circles around her, she'll be going in circles, trying to follow the cursor. So that's kind of fun. You tap enemies or crates to have her attack them, tap on people to chat, and, various other things. But, her voice, she sounds like a girl who's trying to be the big sister, and, she's just trying to keep everybody, in good spirits and stuff. She's very cheerful, and also you get that she's generally a very caring person. So, now, your number 2.
Alright, my number 2 is Yuna from Final Fantasy X-2. She gets an awesome new outfit, and she uses dual pistols. Well, technically she only uses one, but in like one cutscene she uses 2. And I was like, yeah, dual pistols. So I love dual pistols. And a lot of people don't like the game because it's seemingly not as serious as 10. I'm not gonna say anything, but the plot gets pretty crazy later, but I kinda like the attitude that it has, where it's like more lighthearted and fun, and Yuna's personality kinda changes to reflect that, but it's good.
Nice. Now, my number 2 is Bayonetta.
Aw, yeah.
Yeah. Now you can see why I swapped Bayonetta from number 3 to number 2.
Of course.
Naturally. I mean, you look at her, she's super slamming, sexy, and, her hair is her outfit. I mean, if she wanted to, she could just, like, snap her fingers and be running around buck naked. If she wanted to, but she doesn't.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Anyway, so, she also gets a bunch of different outfits in the game, and right now I only have the 2 variations of the kimono, and she looks pretty awesome in that.
Yeah.
But, playstyle, I guess it's comparable to Devil May Cry. I've never really played those games.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's made by the same team and basically uses, like, a really similar engine. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's some platforming here and there, tons of exploring to do, and the combat is just so much fun. And, I mean, I'm always running around with her sword. I'm like never using any of her other weapons. Like the sword is the way to go. It is her strongest weapon.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But I mean, those torture attacks of hers are freaking epic.
I love the one that she uses on Joy.
Yeah, that female angel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one was like, when I finally saw it, I'm like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
But, when you listen to her voice, she's got a British accent, which is pretty awesome. She talks in a slightly seductive manner, as if to say, I'm hot and I know it. I can kill you with a flick of my finger.
Yeah.
And so, Bayonetta is just hands down good looking and just that badass.
Indeed.
I mean, one of my favorite taunts of hers is when she says,
I've got a fever, and the only cure is more dead angels.
That's a good one.
yeah, alright, so that's my number 2. And you see why I swapped Reha for Bayonetta.
Mm-hmm.
Now anyways, what is your second major annoyance?
Alright, my second one, and this is probably going to get me a lot of shit, but I did not like Adelie from .hack GU, and apparently she's one of the most popular characters in that game. So if anybody is a .hack fan, probably gonna flame me. But she's like really annoying, and she's all up in your business the whole game, and she's like, why are you so mean? And the main character is like, because I'm a fucking badass. And she's like, you should make friends and join guilds. And he's like, I don't need friends. I'm on a quest for revenge to save my lover who's in a coma and all this. He's like super cool, but then she's just like always dragging him down with stupid shit. And then this is gonna be a super spoiler, but I have to mention it because it pisses me off so much.
Well, do go ahead, because, I don't have a PS2, and I will probably never play this.
Well, yeah. And I also wanted to say that to anybody who's listening, but at the end of Volume 3, after all of this time, you finally save Haseo's girlfriend. And then he's like, oh, sorry, I want to be with Adelie now because we had a bunch of character development while you were in a coma. And I'm like, what? Adelie is so stupid. And his girlfriend Shino was like okay with it, but...
And for those of you who were wondering what that smack sound was, that was me doing the facepalm.
Yeah, it was retarded. I was like, oh my god.
Oh, dude, that's freaking retarded.
Yeah, I hated her so much.
Alright, well, my second major annoyance. Now, this one is nowhere near the level of hatred I have for Palette, but this one is like a major annoyance. Not quite hate, but annoying.
Yeah.
And it is Princess Peach. I mean, you look at her in Smash Bros. Melee and Brawl, she kicks major ass, and I'm actually really good with her. But, I mean, in every single Mario game, she's always being kidnapped. And yet, when Mario was kidnapped in Super Princess Peach, she went and kicked ass. And ever since then, she's still getting kidnapped every single time.
She doesn't even give a shit when she gets kidnapped either. She's just like, oh, I got kidnapped again. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I think Peach has some perverse joy out of being kidnapped and rescued.
Maybe.
I mean, Mario has to be getting something along with all those cakes to keep him in the shape he's in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you
Yeah. But seriously, it's just like, I mean, sure, she's voiced by the same lady who voices Cortana in Halo, which is pretty epic. But, at the same time, I'm just like, woman, why will you not stay uncaptured? You can kick Bowser's ass. Why don't you?
Seriously.
Anyways, that's my number 2.
Alright. And so, my number 1 favorite female character, Cosmos from Xenosaga.
I saw that coming.
You know me well.
I do.
She was like my first video game love, like back before I was an otaku and fall in love with video game characters every day. I was in like 6th grade or something, popped episode 1 on my PS2, saw those nice, huge pair of guns that she has.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, she can like materialize these 2 giant Gatling guns out of nowhere and destroy everything. Also, she has nice tits. But
I was waiting for you to say that.
yeah, she's just like this super cool robot, and like at first she's like all cold and calculating and stuff. But I'm not gonna spoil anything with this one, but like basically she develops emotions sort of later. But I always thought she was awesome, and she just like killed this dude because he was jumping around and being an idiot, and she got in his way, and she was like, oh well, I could have aimed around him, but that would have been like a 5% drop in efficiency, so I just killed him and the monster, and I was like, yeah, badass.
Nice. Hey, are any of those games on PSP?
No.
Damn. Because I'm going to be getting one at some point, and I was kind of hoping there would be.
Catherine is on PS3 and 360. Demon Souls is PS3 only, and the rest are PS2 only. Although Persona 4, which is where my number 5 is from, is getting a Vita remake.
Nice. Alright, well, time for my number 1. And, it was expected, but it's Blaze the Cat.
Yeah, I knew that one was going.
But, yeah, it's not because I find Blaze sexy or anything. I mean, I just find her really cute and yet awesome at the same time.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And, you look at her, she's a purple cat, you look at her and you get this feeling, you're like, yeah, she's royalty. And, in Sonic Rush Adventure, she plays very similar to Sonic, but there's key differences, like, she's not nearly as fast as him. Well, she's still pretty quick, but, not as fast as Sonic, because, duh, he's the fastest thing alive. Duh. But, when, in Rush 1, when you're playing as her and you go off a spring and you press up on the D-pad and press the R button, she'll rocket upward.
That's awesome.
While Sonic will just be a hop.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's really good at scaling upwards. And, when you jump, she turns into a fiery tornado. When you try to do a spin dash with her, she turns into a fiery tornado, and we're running out of time on this recording, so I gotta make this quick.
Alright, hurry up, that's...
So, gameplay, she's great, except for Sonic 06, because that game is shit. Anyways. Voice. The 4 kids did her... She was okay. So her new and current voice actress in Sonic Generations and Freeriders is fucking amazing. It's like Rouge. It's just like, thank you, breath of fresh air. Well, not nearly as radical as Rouge, but still, breath of fresh air. Anyways, that's my top 5. That's his top 5. We're done.
Woo!
Yay! Peace.